Good morning. All right, another day of Replant 2020. Winding down. I think we won't get done today, but we'll get close. So I've already had several people calling me looking for seed this morning, trying to scrounge up a few bags of stuff that I've got. I've got a truck that's got 40 paper bags of corn coming here that will be here in maybe a half an hour or so down to my seed warehouse. So I kind of got to hang around here for that. Plus, we had a little shower pop up this morning. Didn't get much, less than half a tenth out of it, but it got everything wet, so give me an hour to let things dry out. It's not the end of the world. So while I'm waiting for that truck, I'm going to take one of my empty boxes that I've got in here, run that down to my seed warehouse. I've got another full box of corn that I'm going to need to put in the planter here this morning, so we'll get that down here, set that on the tender, so it's ready to go in there. I talked to one of my customers that's 15, 20 miles from here, and just to ask what they had left or if they needed replant or what was going on, and they've got 5 or 6 bags of beans that would be helpful for me for replant situation right now. So I might run and get those here yet this morning, and then tomorrow I've got a truckload of beans coming, so we just gotta find a few for the day to help a couple guys out and stuff. Phil was gonna go look at the field to see if it was dry enough to take the field cultivator over after that little shot of rain this morning and start working that field where we did the where we had all those volunteer beans down, and then we'll get to planting that. We've got 1 or 2 other fields that we got to patch in before we get there, so it'll be a busy day again. My truck's not there yet, so I got full box of corn on the tender. I pulled the planter up here. We're gonna go ahead and put this corn in while we wait for that truck to get here, get loaded up. Phil just got back from checking that field. He said we barely got any rain over there, just pretty well missed it. So he's gonna go start field cultivating, and we're gonna, as soon as we can, start planting. I still hate this tender. I hate it. It's like it's raining corn every time I fold the auger. Hopefully, this is the last box of corn through the tender this year. Hopefully. Well, it's gonna have to wait because there's my truck. Okay, there's our corn. This 30 bags is for one of my customers, and those are probably for us. We'll see if we need them yet. Man, the mosquitoes got really bad overnight. Holy cow. We gotta put some bug spray on if we're gonna be outside. These are tiny bags too. F1s, 36-pound bags. Wow, they're light. Okay, let's try this whole putting corn in the planter thing again. My boxes are not empty. We did not plan it all out last night, but we're putting the same variety, same hybrid back in the planter, and where we're going, it's all the same direction, and so I'm gonna need more than what's in there. We're just gonna load it up. Okay, we are loaded up, and I just talked to the customer that I needed to get those 5 or 6 bags of beans for, and he said he's not going to need them until late this afternoon or even tomorrow morning, and so we're going to go plant first, and we'll worry about that stuff later. He's actually replanting some corn in the field right across the river from where we're heading right now, and so I asked him how the ground was, and he said it's fine. It's just a light sprinkle there this morning, so yeah, we're good to go. Let's go plant corn. Okay, we made it to the field. We're unfolded here. This is the field that we irrigate. It's 175 acres here. I know I've said this in every field that we've gone into basically, but I really don't think this one is that bad. Clearly we've got an area here where the water sat in these end rows and stuff, but you look out there and you can see corn all across these hills and stuff. So hopefully this goes a little faster. We don't have to drive every row. But I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go here. So we're going to get started with the spots that we know we got to do, and we'll keep moving across the field and seeing how things look. Yeah, still going to be too wet there. I ain't doing nothing about that spot. We do have some really nice corn in this field. Yeah. Where the water didn't set, corn is beautiful. This is more of the replant that I expected to have on everything, was just the pockets that held water were going to need replanted, and the rest of the fields would be fine. And that's not what we've seen up to this point, but we are here, so that is good. Well, spots like this are what I'm going to deal with in this field, it looks like. Just kind of a channel here that it held water all the way through there. A little bit over there might still be a little wet, but there was water setting here on Monday. Quite a bit of water in this dip when Wade and I were up looking at this field. So, but you get right to the side there and the corn is perfectly fine. So that makes this go a lot faster, because I just drove back to the other end of the field to see if there's anything down there, and the corn is all fine there. So we're just going to keep turning real short through just planting that little dip there, and we'll keep marching right across here. This one's going to go faster. Oh, she's a little wet in there. We sent it. So here's the thing about planting through that, even though it's a little bit wet. The corn may or may not grow. I honestly, I don't know. Some of it probably will. It may not be the best stand. It may not be the best corn, but I'm not coming back. It's June 4th today. I'm not coming back to this field. And if we get something, great. If we don't, we don't. But if I don't plant it, we don't get anything either. So that's why if I can go through it and it's not terrible, I'm going through it. Even if it does build up on the gauge wheels a little bit, which it is. As soon as I get in dry dirt, that stuff will knock off and it'll be fine. So, we're going for it. Yeah, that's gonna be a no-go down there. We're gonna have a wet spot. But don't send it. So this is the field that we did our tiling in last fall. And while I'm just driving across where the corn is good here, I can feel every single one of them. It's rough. Tile line's settled with all that rain that we had, so this field will probably get ripped up in the fall to try and level it out a little bit. All right, well, we are done in this field. That took us, I don't know, 2.5 hours or so, and that's what we planted, the blue pieces. So you can see there was a pocket up there, a bunch over by this ditch, kind of a low spot through the center of the field there, and a little bit of a low spot through here. And that was most of it. A little bit in this corner, a little bit in these ends. But really it wasn't too bad. We only did 20 acres in the whole 175 acres. So of all the fields we replanted, this one has by far been the best. Got the first field over here done. There was just 11 acres. We replanted all of it. And Phil didn't leave anything in this field either. And so yeah, we're going to replant this one. There's, I don't know, 15, 16 acres in it. And then down the road to the field where all the volunteer beans were that Phil's working up now. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that looks. This one, where we're at now, fit up beautifully. Nice, fine, loose dirt. It's great. So I decided to turn the direction of the rows on this field. This field is really odd shaped, as you can see from the map here. Hold on. Why is row 5 not planting? There, now it is. Anyway, we used to farm this stuff up here going this direction, and these rows down here going this direction, and it made it awkward in the middle here. But there also used to be right there, which is right there, there used to be a point that came out that we had to farm around, and so it really separated these two when that was there. Since that's been taken out, it made some longer rows all the way through in there, so I decided to plant it all in one direction. Okay, that's the end of this field. What are we up to? 337.5 acres of replant. We started the day at 290. We planted 20 acres in that first field, and now here, whatever that is, almost up to 50 for the day. On to the next one, where Phil's still over there working. It's the field that had all the volunteer beans in it. We'll see what it looks like. Well, the field cultivator is doing a really nice job taking that trash out. I can see the dead beans laying down there and stuff, but no big deal there. We do still have a pretty good wet hole behind us, so we're going to have to go around there. Much bigger than when we planted the first time, but nothing I'm going to do about it, so here's what it is. We got a little one up here too. Well, I'm not sure what's going on, but one half of my planter just quit planting. Let's see if a chain broke or something. So this half, that drive chain looks okay. My vacuum kick off? Yeah. My vacuum fan's not on. I wonder if, check the switch, make sure it's engaged. While we're out of the cab, you can see all these beans that we are working under here. My goodness. They were thick. But they are starting to wilt and die from the chemical we applied to them. And the tillage, they're dead now. Well, apparently I bumped it. It was this switch here, and I didn't think I moved, but the vacuum was off for some reason. Made it stop playing. Anyway, still moving. Phil's over there finishing up the tillage on this other side. Here's a reminder of what these fields looked like before the tillage. There's no corn, and all that green stuff is beans for the most part. Well, he's gonna get done there before I pull into that field, but not by much. I'm just finishing up the long rows here, and I've got a little back there that's still part of this field because that lane makes a 90-degree turn there. So he's, I think he's got a little bit up there by the road to do yet, but getting these ends done. All right, we're on this last field here. I had a rock get stuck in one of my fertilizer openers, which are not doing anything, but when it doesn't turn, it screws up the seed trench for everything else. So, oh, that's a wheel, you can't see anything. Hold on. There. See that rock? Right there. Fell out. Didn't take much, but it was a problem. We have to make it to there. Whoa, that's not good. I hope we don't run out of seed. It's gonna be close. Well, we should make it. It looks like they're a little uneven, so we gotta go and level them out, move some from one tank to the other side. Crap. Yeah, definitely we're pretty uneven. We got them leveled out. We'll have plenty for this field and a little bit extra, but not a whole lot. All right, we're done. We're folded up. We're ready to go back to the farm and treat some beans tonight. Seems like I spent half of that last field on the phone trying to line up seed, talk to customers, talk to my sales rep, trying to figure out where stuff's at and all that. So looks like tomorrow morning I get to run back up to same place I picked up corn the other day and pick up some more corn. I got a customer that called me looking for 100 bags. That's a lot. So we're gonna get it for him. We're gonna get it for tomorrow morning. Dad's in this field spraying. I know you guys can't see him because he's clearing the back right now, but he pulled in right as I was getting ready to fold up. So he is caught up to me, which is a good thing. That means that the spraying on the corn is almost done too. Good. So, all right, back to the farm. Okay, we're back here. I need to go treat beans, but remember those 2.7s that one of my customers has not too far from here that he doesn't need extra? I think I talked about them this morning. Anyway, another guy just called me, needs them. They got 5 or 6 bags. We got to go get them. They're, I don't know, 15, 20 miles from here. So I'm going to go run and get those real quick, get them back here, and then we're going to treat beans. Okay, I've made it back to my seed warehouse. Those are the beans we picked up. They actually had 8 bags there, so that's fine. We got a shipment in of beans today. These paper bags, those 40 are untreated. There are, what, 6 there that are treated. And then we got these 6 boxes here. Those are all empty. So we're going to treat these 6 boxes now. That's the plan here. Okay, well, I'm about 100% sure I'm going to have to open another keg of Cruiser now. So we're going to have to get this one out and let it mix as well, but I'm going to empty that one first. I'm also pretty sure I'm going to empty that keg of yellow because there ain't much in that one either. So that's good. And I don't have another keg of it, but I've got some 2.5 gallon jugs that I can use. It's not critical anyway. I don't really need the yellow. I put it in because it makes the beans orange, and really at this point I'm trying to use it up. So anyway, let's start mixing. All right, I got everything mixed up. We just started the first box. I did get both of those kegs empty and tapped the last keg of Cruiser, and I used a little over 2 gallons out of it, so that's good. These beans are huge. They are 2,227 seeds per pound. That's really big. We're gonna struggle to get these to fit back in the box. So, yeah, is what it is. But 6 boxes, we'll run through them here quick. Yeah, she's full. Someday we're gonna get back to that project. So this is kind of the nice part about having this seed treater here, is that I can treat these beans for replant, because there was no way for me to predict that we were going to use this many beans, or the corn for that matter, for replant purposes. So Golden Harvest limits our ability to get treated beans from the company after, I think, the 1st of March or something like that, because they don't want inventory of treated beans. So if you want them, they're kind of, if they're available, great. If not, sorry about your luck, you don't get them treated. But having this here, I can do that, and I can have untreated beans sitting here or brought in and put the treatment on them. And since replant seed is 100% covered, as long as the beans were treated to start with, there's no reason not to put the treatment on. We want that treatment on there. It is still very valuable, and so you know, this gives me that flexibility to be able to do it. It's a little bit of a pain to have to stop and do this when I've got other things to do, but it's all right. It's worth it. So the other thing is, I'm not selling this treatment to my customers anymore, right? So they paid for it on the original beans. I'm not selling them again. They don't have to pay me for this. That's part of what's included in the free replant, is the treatment. So Golden Harvest will actually reimburse me the cost of the chemical. I don't make anything on it, but they reimburse me the cost of it on all the beans that I treat, so that I'm not out anything. So that's kind of how this works for replant purposes. Working on our 3rd box. We'll just keep moving through them here. Okay. Well, the beans are all treated. 4 of them are set aside for a different customer. We got to put one in that wagon over there, and one of them is ours, which we're going to put on that tender right now. All right, well, customer is going to come and pick those boxes up in the morning or sometime tomorrow. We're just going to dump them right in his tender, so we're not going to worry about putting lids on. Phil took that box that I just put on the tender. He's going to load his planter up and do some replant. We got a field him and I just went and looked at that. There's beans there, but it's only about 100,000 stand, which is borderline of maybe they're okay, maybe they're not. So we're going to put those in and just kind of go over it. Shift over so we're off the rows a little bit, and plant half rate or something like that, and just thicken them up a little bit. So that's it for me for tonight, I guess. Here, I don't know what else I got to do. Go back to the farm and shut stuff up. Tomorrow morning, we've got to run to the neighboring dealer that we were at earlier this week, or that I went to, and pick up some more corn. A lot of corn, like 150 bags of corn probably. So we'll do that in the morning, and then hopefully tomorrow afternoon we can plant the rest of the replant corn that we've got to do, or most of it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm being patient with it, trying to give it as much time to dry out as possible, while also recognizing that today's the 4th of June and it's got to get done now. So, all right, back to the farm. All right, well, long day, but I'm heading home relatively early. It's before 8:30, so hope you guys enjoyed today. We're wrapping up the replants, getting towards the end of it here, so we'll get the rest of the we'll get some more corn around tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be all that we'll need, but it'll be a lot of it, and keep everybody moving at least. The hard thing now is planning for the weekend and trying to make sure that everybody's got what they need to get through the weekend. Yeah, and things are flying out the door about as fast as I can get them brought in at the moment. So is what it is, but yeah, hopefully we'll wrap that up, and then maybe Saturday I can get to Berkey to take a look at what our crops are down there, just to make sure that we don't need to replant anything, because I haven't been there to look at them. So anyway, have a good night. Hit the like and subscribe buttons for me, please, and leave me any questions, comments you guys got. Have a great night. We aren't the only ones tearing crops out and replanting. They're tearing corn out and replanting it with beans, though. Oh man.